Okay, so we're going to use our chloroplast drawing here to show some understanding for the two reactions in photosynthesis. And for my chloroplast drawing, just to review it real quick, I've got a double membrane, an outer and an inner membrane. I have my thylakoid membrane here stacked up into grana. And then I have this stroma, which is the site of the Calvin cycle occurring here in what appears to be empty space, even though we should understand that it's not empty space. And to show the light reaction, the light dependent and the light independent, I'm just going to cut this in half. And I'm going to focus the light reaction over here. So this will be the light dependent side. And on this side, I'll do the light independent reaction. So this is also known as the Calvin cycle. Okay, so let's start off with the light reaction here. So for the light dependent reaction, right? So light dependent reaction, we have some clues right away in the light dependent reaction that we'd best be including light in our discussion. So we're going to have light come down. So this is light energy. And it's going to strike the thylakoids. That's what we see here. So we have light energy striking the thylakoid. That's our energy. And then the input is water. Our chemical input is water, H2O. And then in the process of photolysis, this water molecule is going to get split and it's going to kick out an O2. Okay. So we have our energy source, light energy. So our energy is light. Our chemical input is water. Okay. Our output is going to be O2. Okay. All that happens in the light reaction of photosynthesis. Now, when that photolysis happens, the oxygen molecule is released, but we also get some energized hydrogen ions and some electrons. And those are going to be used to produce ATP and NADPH. Okay, so the hydrogens from our water are right here, and the energy from those electrons is going to be in those hydrogens are also going to move through these thylakoids to produce this ATP. And again, ATP is energy, right? And NADPH is carrying this hydrogen, and they're carrying it to the Calvin cycle. And in the Calvin cycle, so here our energy is that ATP. And we're also going to use NADPH to sort of follow this along. Our input is CO2. And our output is going to be sugar, G3P. Okay, and really glucose in the end. But let's do our input. So we have CO2 as an input. It's going to come into the Calvin cycle. And then when the CO2 comes in, the reactions of the Calvin cycle takes place. So there's fixation that occurs. And that's going to produce our sugar, our G3P. To do that, we're going to use the energy of ATP and NADPH in this when we have Rubisco fixed CO2 to RUBP. As that 6-carbon molecule gets broken right away, gets modified to form the G3P. Those G3Ps that are remaining will get modified back into RUBP. So that's how this is a cycle going over and over through here. But to do that, the energy of ATP is going to be used. It's going to remain as ADP plus a phosphate. So it's going to go over here and get recharged. And the hydrogen from the NADPH is going to be used to reduce the CO2 to sugar molecule. So this is now going to be P+. Back over here. So here's our drawing. Okay, so we've got the light reaction on this side. We've got our light independent reaction on the right. A couple of things for the light reaction. We should know about photolysis. That's important over here. And we should know about Rubisco, fixation, and RUBP. That's some ideas over here, right? So some sort of extra stuff to sort of talk about on those two. So there we go. So from our chloroplast drawing, basic chloroplast drawing, we've laid out all of the light reaction and all of the light independent reaction that we need to know.